All right, good evening, and thank you all for joining me here. My name is David Canton, and today we're going to talk a little bit about coffee. All right, specifically bulletproof coffee and some of the alternatives, and why bulletproof coffee is definitely top of the list. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I live in Chapel Hill, which is about 70 miles north of Bragg, and I commute every day. So anywhere between an hour and 10 to an hour and a half, depending on the traffic. 2015, right before deployment, I woke up kind of late, missed my alarm or whatever, so I just got on the road. Like, it's 5 a.m., I'm just going to hit the road or whatever. Didn't make my cup of coffee like I always do every morning. Thought I was going to be fine. So first 15 minutes are good. 20 minutes in, I start falling asleep a little bit. And it progressively gets worse and worse and worse. And then I basically woke up and almost slammed into the beer going 65. And I'm like, okay, never again will I not make a cup of coffee. I want to fix this issue. So I pretty much made sure I set the timer, pre-made the coffee the night before, did all that. But then after a certain point, it got kind of old too, I started to get tired again. So this curiosity and necessity led me to a bunch of different types of coffee preparations, specific types, right? So I tried nitro, and nitro coffee was a little expensive. It was about $5 a can, which is kind of pointless. But it's brewed with nitrogen, and it's supposed to increase the level of caffeine. It's cold brew, so in the summer, you know what I mean, you don't want to drink hot coffee on the way to work. So that I used that for a little while. I like that. Not very cost effective. Espresso, not very convenient, because actually the act of drinking the hot coffee on my way to work also keeps me awake, not just the caffeine levels. So I moved on. So then I did pour over, and the way pour over works is you basically have an open air pour where you put the grinds in, you have a filter, and you pour, water at a certain temperature over those grinds, and then you make the coffee that way. So that was good, but again, time consuming. So I settled on something called bulletproof coffee. And today we're going to talk about bulletproof coffee, how it helps you absorb that caffeine and the energy better than the alternatives, as well as it prolongs that energy response. Okay? All right. And most importantly, it's going to keep me driving in and parking in the parking lot at work instead of parking on the other side of the guardrail every day. All right. So I only have one car now. All right. So drinking coffee is part of many people's lives as well as myself. So go ahead and raise your hand if you depend on coffee as much as I do. So there you go. Majority of people here, you know what I mean? Same deal. So have you guys, you three right here, I just mentioned. Okay. Have you guys ever dealt with nitro coffee or bulletproof or tried any of that stuff? Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So I'm really excited to tell you about this then. All right. So as far back as the 13th century, that's when they kind of started grinding up coffee, roasting it, and essentially utilizing it for a stimulant. I believe the number is 80% of our country utilizes caffeine, and caffeine is one of the most heavily used substances for stimulant. Basically increase your performance in school, at work, etc. Whatever you got going on. So coffee grounds, or coffee beans, are actually seeds of coffee fruit. And so in the 13th century, that's when they started kind of utilizing what we know now as modern coffee, grinds and, mixing in hot water with grinds so you can drink it. Before that, they were using coffee fruit, mashing it up into food to get that stimulant as well. And everybody knows now that we're very into biohacking. Biohacking is defined as the art and science of manipulating your environment to basically get the most out of your body. And there's no exception with coffee, okay? So the biohacking of coffee, we already talked about a little bit. Mostly nitrogen Nitro Coffee was like the only one that kind of fits that description. And you have Bulletproof Coffee. So I'm going to go into how I prepare my Bulletproof Coffee, and then I'm going to kind of explain how it works. Okay. So Bulletproof Coffee, we'll use 8 ounce of dark roast Arabic coffee to compare. So 8 ounce of Arabic roast coffee is going to have anywhere from 95 to 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. Bulletproof coffee doesn't really change the caffeine content. What it does is change the way you absorb it and how long that energy source lasts. So I'll take Peet's coffee. I get the dark roast, and I'll start off with that. Make some dark roast. I'll go ahead and put in some grass-fed butter and MCT oil. You can also use coconut oil. The coconut oil is going to take a little bit longer to absorb into your system. I'll explain that in a second. So then you whip that all up, and then you have your Bulletproof coffee. Now, here's the way it works. So Bulletproof coffee, so the MCT oil, which is a multi-chain triglyceride, is a fat. And you're basically setting your body up to process fat for energy instead of glucose. Because as you all know, if you've ever eaten like a Snickers bar, despite what the commercials tell you, you're going to have that shot of energy, you're going to have that peak, and then you're going to have that downslope. And that's because your body is utilizing insulin to process that glucose for your brain and your body to take it in. So there's a downslope to that. Whereas like MCT oil is going to go straight to your liver and straight to your brain. So that's your immediate energy. That's going to go along with the caffeine. And then you're going to utilize that grass-fed butter for that slow burn. Okay? So that's going to be your, basically the contents of your Bulletproof coffee and why it works that way. So you can also, okay, so let's go back to the glucose and taking in something that's heavy in sugar like a Frappuccino, for example. All right, so you're going to get that boost of caffeine, you're going to get that boost of energy, and then what's going to happen is you're going to have that crash. Along with that crash, it's a short-term effect. Long-term effect's going to be systemic inflammation. So you're going to have issues with your gut flora. You're going to have issues with your cardiac system being inflamed, and just overall systemic inflammation. And you're taking your body through this up and down of hormonal changes on a regular basis. Whereas that Bulletproof coffee is going to level you out. So you're also changing the way your body can process fat. So then you'll use your own fat for energy instead of just needing a hit of glucose or carbs every single time. You can actually change the way your body processes as well. All right. So what we've been getting at is Bulletproof coffee is essentially, it's going to not only prolong that energy effect of that grass-fed butter, but the MCT oil is going to be utilized to go straight to your liver and to your brain for energy. And that's also going to lead to being more alert, not having that foggy brain, because we've all been super tired at work, out in the field, or whatever. And you got a headache, you feel a little shitty, you're dehydrated, all this other stuff's going on. You're not thinking clearly. You know what I mean? So that MCT oil is going straight to your brain from your liver, and it's going to clear that up, that fog. All right? So pretty much we've talked about how Bulletproof coffee is going to be the superior choice, just based on what I've told you guys and how you're utilizing it, how your body's utilizing it, and the long-term effects on your body. We discussed a couple of different options, and again, I think of all of those options, espresso might be another alternative, but again, for myself, and I don't know about you guys, you know, the active drinking that hot coffee continuously over that hour-and-a-half drive also keeps me awake, not just, oh, I took a shot of caffeine, I'm good for the next, few hours. So when I take the Bulletproof coffee, I'm pretty much good till that evening, you know what I mean, and I feel a lot better at work. I don't have those dips. And so in conclusion, you know, you got all your varieties of coffee. I think it's pretty obvious that if you utilize bulletproof coffee, you're going to find that you have a lot more steady energy and you're going to feel great. So I urge you guys all to give it a try. Thank you for your time.